Good day, awesome YouTubers. It is LollyMan16 here for another Mob Psycho 100 episode review. This one is episode 7, Exaltation. I have obtained loss. We're getting back into the hype this week as we continue with Mob Psycho, and this episode deals mainly, and it pretty much revolves around Mob's brother Ritsu, Kageyama Ritsu. So we leave off where we last saw Ritsu, and that is with Dimple. And so he sees Dimple, and of course Dimple realizes that, well, he can see me, so that therefore he must be a psychic, like his brother Kageyama Shinyo, or Mob. And they talk about this, and basically Dimple does the same thing to Mob to what he does to Ritsu, is that he tells him to join him because he can make him surpass his brother Mob. And of course Ritsu wants this, so he decides, yeah, he'll join Dimple. And at first he couldn't control his power, okay? Dimple and Ritsu go on to test Ritsu's newfound powers, his just awakened powers. It's revealed in this episode that Ritsu just now unlocked his powers because he let his emotions out. Before he did not do this, and so he never thought he was an actual psychic user. But now he does because he revealed his emotions. So Ritsu tries to bend some spoons, but he can't do this. So Dimple says he'll do it for him, and so he does this. And of course Ritsu thinks that he did it, but actually it's Dimple. Later on in the episode, we get Dimple actually trying to merge with Ritsu, and so he does this, but he can't do it. And the reason why he can't do this is because he doesn't have the psychic power. He doesn't have his full potential. Why doesn't he have his full potential? Well, remember when Dimple was destroyed by Hanazawa Teruki? He was destroyed by him, but he managed to pull himself together, but at the cost of weakening his psychic prowess. So he is able to only enhance Ritsu's psychic powers. He's not able to actually control him, but that's okay because he uses his power along with Ritsu to beat up some guys. First he beats some other guys from some high school, and then the interesting part about this episode is after almost 3/4 of the way into the episode, we get back to the student council member that I can't remember his name, but he is basically the top, the leader of the student council. Remember from last episode where they exposed Onigawara as a pervy guy? Well, in this episode he shows up again, but this time he's the one who gets beaten up pretty much. And how this happens is that some gang leaders from other schools heard about Mob and Teru fight, and they basically have a nickname for Mob, and that is Shiro Tea Poison, or White Tea Poison. I don't know why they chose that name, but they did. And so they mistaken, well, first of all, Ritsu beats up one of the gang leaders, and then later on it's another gang leader confronts the student council leader, and the student council leader can't defend himself, because he doesn't have any power. And so it was like him versus a group of him versus a gang leader and a group of other high school, another bunch of other kids, and they beat him up. So he decides to quit, and therefore essentially defeating the so-called puppet of this whole ordeal. So what happens is that all the other gang leaders confront Ritsu in an alleyway, but Ritsu, along with the powers of Dimple, easily defeat them all. At one point he even slams one of the kids' heads into some concrete. That was pretty brutal, pretty savage. But then at the end of the episode, Mob comes in and he asks Ritsu, like, what are you doing? And that's where we leave off the episode. I thought this episode was back into the hype. really cool to see the powers of Ritsu, but also it's kind of scary because we realize in this episode that Ritsu, Kageyama Ritsu, is getting more to be like an evil guy. Essentially, he's what Hanazawa was prior to his defeat by Mob. Oh yeah, and by the way, there was a really comedic, funny scene. Because Hanazawa was bald, or at least he went bald on the middle of his head, he actually put a wig on, and the wig is like really tall, and so everyone thought his hair is naturally that long, and it's really cool, but actually it's only a wig, and it's a funny because Ritsu said he thinks that Hanazawa has this amazing psychic power because of his large brain, but actually the Dempo corrects him and saying no, that's only his wig. Excuse me. So that's it for that episode. I thought it was a really cool episode. I'm really curious to see what happens because next episode preview, we get Mob versus Ritsu apparently, but then that some adult espers come into the fray, and there's one other sequence, a really short one in the episode where we said that hooded esper again. Remember last episode where with Mob and that I forgot what her name is, the other person from the club. They recognize some guy, and Mob says, "Wait, that guy's an adult esper." So he comes into the fray next episode, which will be episode 8. I can't wait, guys. Great episode, great hype. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. I'll see you guys later. Stay awesome and have a good one.